We are right now at the National Park Uramba Bahía Málaga at the Pacific coast of Colombia. On the last video we visited Playa Juan de Dios and Pacifico Hostel, and now we're going to take surfing lessons for dummies in Ladrilleros.
So, hello! We're going to have our first surf lesson today, but first we are walking on the beach. It's low tide, and if there is low tide you can walk on the beach from one village to the other.
Because on one side is the beach and on the right side you have the cliffs, so when it is high tide you can walk along the beach to the other side. You have to take the road.
So basically we're walking from the one village which is called Ladrilleros to the other one which is called
La Barra.
Besides walking on natural beaches, we were also looking for our crew, our surfing crew, and it looks like we found them. Here in Ladrilleros and La Barra, there are several surfing schools. The conditions here are perfect for beginners, like us. Now that we had some surfing lessons, we want to share the basics of surfing. Lesson number 1. Not all waves can be surfed, so there are perfect waves. But identifying the perfect wave is impossible. Here you see my perfect wave is coming, but I have no idea that it is there. I started swimming not because I knew the wave was coming, but because my instructor was yelling, "Start swimming!" Issue that brings us to the lesson number 2. Start swimming like crazy before your wave gets to you. You basically swim to avoid being dragged by the wave, and you want to stay in the same position so that the wave takes you with it. You can see my constant position being marked by the red line. And now lesson number 3. Balancing on the surfboard is as hard as f***. So lower your expectations and don't expect to be standing on 2 feet on the board for the first 5 hours. So now let's analyze the fails of our friends based on the lessons that we just learned. Now you see the wave is coming, is coming, is coming. Oh, the wave was missed. And here again. Here it looks that she could identify the wave but too late, so she didn't start swimming early enough, and the wave left without her. I know that you and I wanted to see some folding videos, so now is the lesson number 3 fails. Balancing on the surfboard is as hard as f***. You have learned the first most important 3 lessons, and now the lesson number 4. At the end of the day, you will have drunk 1/10 of the ocean's water for sure, because you have been swimming like crazy for hours. You won't feel your arms after 2 hours anymore. And the most important lesson, surfing is really fun. And of course we have a perfect photo saving these moments as if we were surfing experts.
We just arrived in the surf house hostel, I think it's called. It was recommended to us by the owner of the last hostel we stayed at, and it's really nice. It's a little bit further back from the beach. It's very calm, but it's like 7 minutes away from the beach, more or less. And yeah, it's very chill here in general. There is things to do, but there's not like a lot to do. But it's a very tranquil vacation destination here. It's very calm, the pace of the people here is also very different. Like nobody's in a hurry, nobody has stress. We are going to do a mangrove tour right now. And also, as you can see, so where we have been before was the hostel, and all around was nature. Here it's here as well people actually live, and it's a really poor part of Colombia. So as you can tell by the houses and everything, most things are made of wood instead of bricks. So it's very, very forgotten, purposely forgotten part of Colombia, at least by the government, purposely forgotten. And yeah, so all the nature, everything around is really nice, but like the infrastructure and like the village is not like a picturesque nice village, but it's very poor.
Since this place is very far away from infrastructure, most of the inhabitants live from fishing, like the people that is passing us, from cutting wood, or from tourism. We embarked our boat with 4 adults, 1 tour guide, 3 children, and 1 dog. During our tour on the mangroves, we have got to learn about this ecosystem, the plants, how to take care of it, but also we saw some people cutting some precious trees for selling them for wood.
After a short trip through the mangroves, we arrived at what we could call our destination, which is basically some freshwater bathing. And we're going to have a swim and then basically go back, find something to eat and have a chilly evening.
But how could we live without exploring the surroundings? After so much splashing, we were so hungry and so happy to try the food of the region, because actually the food of the Pacific coast has that special, unique taste different from the rest of the food of Colombia. Before leaving the Pacific region, I had to get, of course, these famous braids from the coast. And to be honest, it took way longer than expected. It took 6 hours to complete my whole hair. On the next day, we took a boat from Ladrilleros to Buenaventura, and from there a small minibus to San Cipriano. San Cipriano is a small town known for the brujitas, which are these vehicles made of some wood and a motorbike. Once you get in one of these brujitas, then the ride starts. The path goes along the old mining railways, and you get to see very nice views. The only problem is that there is only one railway in one direction, so when there are some brujitas coming from the other way, then the people decide which one is going first, and then everyone else has to jump out of the brujita and wait until the incoming traffic has passed. At the end of the ride, you can start walking to pick up your float, bring it to the perfect place on the river, and then lie down on the float and enjoy the tubing.
And it's raining.
Again.
It's raining like 10 times a day here.
And apparently it is normal.
Yeah, and it's apparently normal. Okay, so we are leaving San Ciprianos again. there's really not too much to do. I would say the most fun part is actually coming here on these brujitas, which you could translate to little witches, which are these railway carts they use here. That's a lot of fun, and also there is some tubing here, which is quite fun as well. They also offer cascades and such. We did a trip to a cascade. If you have visited other cascades in the area, it's not really, in my opinion, worth the effort, but it's still nice. It's a nice hike in the nature. And yeah, so we're going back here. If you have the possibility, don't come on a weekend, because it's packed like this on the weekends, whereas like during the week there's nothing. It's like you have the whole village to yourself basically. Join us next time as we visit southern France, the Provence and the Isle of Corsica with its amazing landscapes. And also, we hike the 5 villages of the famous national park Cinque Terre in Italy.
Thanks for watching!
If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button below.
And leave us a comment. We would like to hear your opinions and thoughts.